In this video, we're going to be going over the difference in between passive range holds and passive range liftoffs and how to execute each one with its given value. So the main difference with a passive range hold and a passive range liftoff is if the rep that you are starting is initiating the contraction further than your active range, or if you are backing off and allowing there to be some separation or some movement through the active range before you get to the end range. In a passive range hold, and I'll give you an example, let's say that I'm using the 90-90 position to work hip external rotation here. I am going to, in a passive range hold, I'm going to pull my leg further than whatever my active range is, so I may not be able to actively lift my leg all the way as much as I can hold it, and I'm going to initiate my contraction here in my passive range. So I'm going to squeeze into external rotation here, and I'm going to slowly let go of the leg until I find the range where I can actually hold that leg, as opposed to a passive range liftoff where I'm going to pull away a little bit more so that I can allow a little bit of motion and I'm working into that end range position. And this is going to apply for any position in any joint. So I could also do it for internal rotation here, where at passive range I'll start rotated further than where I can actually lift. I would not be able to get any movement through here if I try to lift my leg, but I'm going to squeeze my internal rotators, and then I'm going to slowly and meticulously move away from the stretch until I can get some movement. As opposed to a passive range lift, I would start already in a position where I can get that leg to lift, and that's where I would initiate my contraction. Same thing goes for the upper body. Let's say the shoulder. If I'm going to do an internal rotation, for a passive range hold, I'm going to pull into the passive range, I'm going to squeeze into internal rotation, and then slowly let go. And there should always be a little bit of movement or a little bit of bounce back, right, for the passive range hold. Whereas the passive range lift, you are moving into that end range. Hopefully this cleared up some of the confusion between the passive range hold and the passive range lift.